smell the picture, if you know what I mean. Balancing! Oh my god. Oh. Guys, it's happening. Unleashing. See. So guys, remember what we did today? Like, I prepared this for
Welcome
today.
back, Warriors. We are so excited today to have you back to talk about, to hear about the balancing, and who better to talk about balancing than JC's back.
Yes. Thank you.
We couldn't have you just on one segment. We
No,
need you
I
back
guys,
for
I
more.
would legit
Had to be.
cry
I want to
in the
give like
corner
huge shout out to Eric. Like
Yeah.
when
I hadn't
they
seen Mr. Pope in so long,
when they nerf
and it
Jiren
warmed
even
my
more.
heart to see him. Like it's
Aw.
been so long, and I really appreciate him. So it was fun to see him.
That's awesome. Yeah, it
Alright.
was so nice. It was very
Yeah, right.
nice. Yeah.
It's great.
So JC, what do you
They
have for
nerfed
us
his
today?
So we have
stamina
a bit.
train, or
I'm
stamina
not gonna like do
punishes,
like
they
usual.
nerf his
There's less
they
stuff
nerf his
this time.
damage, haymaker.
Just to we're working hard on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that temper expectations a little bit. We've had 2 insanely big patches in the past, so we're scaling it down a little bit. So we still want to make meaningful changes, but because of of what we're working on, like there's new heroes and new stuff coming around. I want to make sure that we give enough room for our devs to breathe a little bit. It's difficult sometimes, so
It's important.
to make sure we're good to go. But let's get started.
Sure.
Let's go.
So first up,
Anti-gank
Anti-Gank Part 3.
Damage gain
so,
adjustment.
Part
While
1
in
and Part
second
2
hit,
now,
damage
it's the
from
third
the
one.
previous attack
So-
is now reduced.
I'm going to read this, and then I'll have to explain because it's probably not super obvious, right? So we're doing some adjustments to damage scaling, which basically is while you're in second hit stun, the damage from the previous attacker is now reduced by 25%, down from 75.
This
Might not be
changed
super
ganks.
clear. I rethought of how to write this line a million times without it becoming a massive paragraph. So it'll be this, but I'll explain. So I'm hoping that everybody that listens and understands first, and then 2 is able to explain to everybody in like longer terms because we're still doing a show, so it's good. So essentially, what we did right is normally like when you end up in that second hit stun, right? So for example, it's you, me, and Max because Max is there, but
Of course he is,
we
yeah.
like to hit Max. So we're fighting. We're 2v1, right?
Mhm.
If you hit Max, and then I hit him while he's in a hit reaction,
Mhm.
he enters first hit stun.
Right.
Like it's like the advanced hit stun, and then if you deal damage while he's in this one, he doesn't flinch. He doesn't get pinned. If you bash him, nothing really happens, and he takes 75% less damage.
Okay.
Right. If I hit him with another confirmed attack, on live right now, it also gives me 75% damage reduction.
Okay.
With this change, if I'm the one that hits him again next, I will deal 25% reduced damage instead of 75.
Okay.
So a good example of this, because even then I'm sure it's like, what's he talking about there? Let's say we're gonna put a situation in, right? It's you, me, and Max.
Yeah.
So you hit Max with a light.
Mhm.
I'm Warden. I do a fully charged shoulder bash
Yeah.
that hits him while he's in your hit reaction,
Mhm.
right? Now that will cause a reaction on him. He's gonna go into the same reaction. Visually, like he looks like he gets hit. It's all good. Before, if I did my top heavy here, that is guaranteed.
Mhm.
He would take 75. He would take 75% less damage. But because I'm the last person who connected a hit on him, it will deal 25% less damage instead. So this is kind of a way that we have to make all those little confirmed attacks, all little combo attacks, all these little things deal more damage if you're the one that does them in succession. So it helps in those situations where it kind of makes ganking a little bit better because we hit ganking really, really hard. But this is great in situations like you have a Valkyrie that does a sweep,
Mhm.
and then the follow-up is like guaranteed. Well, it's going to deal more damage now. Same for you have for Yorm, right? That unbalances. You have like all those situations where you have guaranteed damage afterwards. So it's going to help crank up damage a little bit more in ganks so that they're a bit more effective.
Nice.
The other side effect of this is that it also applies to wall splats.
Mm.
So I'm sure
Yeah.
people now are kind of understanding it as I'm saying it. They're going to be happy. On live right now, because of how we changed the hit stuns on the,
So, for
on the
example,
other anti-ganks
You made,
passes that we did, if you had
throw
say,
someone in the
Shigoki
wall,
guard break somebody,
and then he
throw
goes
them
for a
against the
heavy
wall,
attack.
They get
then
wall
you cannot.
splatted. He
As
does.
a gank partner, you cannot go for a follow-up heavy.
So, because of the
case,
way
you
the hit stun
usually
transitions and the damage reduction happens,
confirm
he would deal 75% less
heavy
damage
of
on
your
the big
teammate
crunch part
instead
of Demon's
throwing
Embrace.
a
So
heavy.
now, because he
A little
is the
bit
previous
awkward.
attacker, the previous contact point, which is the actual
No more
grab
8
from the
damage,
hug,
Eagle's Talent,
then that will
exactly.
deal 25% less damage instead of 75. Anything that kind of interacts
But
with
I
wall
wish-
splats, if and in all the situations, every time you are the last attacker, even if it goes
It
into
would
like
crank
advanced
up
hit
the
stuns,
revenge tax, guys.
you only
Please,
deal
guys.
25% less
Please.
damage instead of 75. So it
Enough
really helps in those situations.
Anti-ganking
It's
every
it's something
time.
that we're trying right now to make sure that those punishes still make sense and that they're still good. You have to remember that a wall
But also
splat,
make
the wall
anti-ganking
counts
itself.
as a contact. So that's why it kind of
Makes
triggers
sense.
these things, where it normally doesn't really.
Right
but the
now,
wall counts as
revenge
a
tax
contact, so it
just
kind of helps
lasts
in those
5
situations.
seconds.
So that's what this
At
means.
least.
It's a
At
bit complicated, but I hope that I
Last
explained
8
it
seconds.
properly. I can't see chat, but I'm sure people are happy that at least a lot of their punishes are restored to not their exact former glory,
Yeah.
but pretty close.
Sure.
So that should be good for now, and we'll see. Again, we're keeping an eye on this and see like, do we need to adjust further and see how that goes. But we like to have like rules that are universal.
Revenge
because
tax,
it's super
8
important to have
seconds.
these kinds of rules so that
If you really want
the
to
gameplay
stick with
is
the revenge,
predictable,
current
right?
revenge
So
tax-
not predictable in a way that,
revenge tax
I mean,
system.
I know what you're going to do, I'll counter it, but more as a, if I'm doing something, the result
Played
has to
anti-ganking mode.
be like
Well,
what
yeah,
I
exactly.
expect it to be.
Like,
And because this rule is
the
universal, you know it applies to everything. It applies
and
to
you
wall
get
splat, it applies
knocked
to all
out
these hits.
or
So
bashed,
that's one of
whatever,
the big aspects of game design here that's
then you know
extremely
exactly. Or
important.
Shaman Bite.
Especially in a game where there's like, you know, a ton of
You
characters, a
receive
lot
a
of stuff happening
ton
at
of
once.
damage.
It needs to be clear what's going on there.
Awesome.
All right. So next slide. Jiren, so we're doing small changes to No Friend of Mine, which is tier 2 feats. That's the only changes coming to Jiren in this patch. We did some nerfs in the past, just to recap a little bit, where we lowered the effectiveness of a bunch of little things. He's still slightly overperforming, so we're gonna keep an eye on this
Slightly?
after this patch to see where that goes. But basically, No Friend of Mine, after discussions we've had with the competitive community and a lot of different things, and we looked at data and stuff, ended up the feat itself overperforms because cooldown was too low, duration, like the active duration was too high, and the shields were infinite. So that's what we're targeting here right now. So the cooldown is now 30 seconds longer, so it goes to 90 seconds, up from 60. The duration goes down to 20 seconds instead of 30. So you need to be a bit more. You need to be a bit more aware as to when you're going to trigger it, right? Because it's only active for 20 seconds, and it has a minute and a half cooldown, so it's not up every 30 seconds.
I mean,
more or
there
less.
will probably more.
It's up
Who
every
knows?
minute there. It's up every minute and a half, and because it's
At the
active
end
for
of
less time, you need to
this
be more
explanation,
aware of when your allies are
We'll
going
also
to
add
die
some stuff.
for you to get the shield. And on top of this, the shield duration is now 20 seconds instead of being infinite. The problem with this feat before these nerfs is that essentially every time it's up, you hit it.
Mhm.
If somebody dies, great, you get shields. If there's nobody around, you keep it and you can stack them,
Yeah.
get to full life worth of shields,
Yeah.
lose them a little bit, and then you kept re-triggering it, and you would always replenish your shields, especially if you play with players that tend to die quite a bit. So with these changes, you have to be a lot more aware of the situation, know when to use it, know why you're using it,
What's basically
and it
right
adds
now.
like a bit of that layer of thought process behind it, instead of being just a, hey, I'll just trigger it on cooldown,
Yeah.
that'll be it, right?
That's
So we're looking at this. We're going to keep looking at our data again to see where it kind of lands in the future, if this ends up affecting his win rate a little bit more, and see what other changes we might need to do to Jiren.
Oh, please.
We know he's been kind of polarizing as a hero, and it's understandable whenever new heroes release.
No.
It's always difficult, and we try to make stuff that is so unique, that feels so different, that sometimes it comes out a little bit stronger,
gave
sometimes it
basically
comes out a little bit
a
weaker,
hero.
and we have to figure out like what
Everything.
the right middle is. It's not always easy, but we always try to take steps afterwards to kind of adjust a little bit more towards the
Insane
middle.
chain
make sure it makes sense.
pressure.
And then we
swing,
have a couple of other
unblockable.
changes. So that's gonna be the last slide, just to let people know.
Okay.
So there's not many things. But first, Ocelotl. I think Raf and Ian.
Nailed
Now
it.
visible during
Yeah,
Huntsman
I-
Spirit. Oh!
I can't speak that language,
Why?
but I'm sure, like, you know, it's great. So
Oh,
that during
huge
Huntsman
nerf, man.
Spirit, so the hero is now
Huge nerf.
visible. So we have a bit of a video, Max, if you want to play it,
Huge
and I'll
nerf.
explain as we go. Right. So
Oh, shit.
essentially, Ocelotl's tier 1 feat is contentious a little bit at a lot of levels of play, especially at high level, because it's really, really rough to play against and to play against. Because you can't. It's hard to kind of figure out. Hey, he respawns. I can't see him. I don't know where he's
Okay.
going. Is he camping right outside? What's happening?
Okay.
So we did a change here where he's actually sort of visible while he's in that state to opponents, right? So this is on his team side, right? You see yourself as this, but when your opponents see it, you see
Okay,
it's
no
kinda
more
like weird
trolling
little
around as
ghosty thing
Ocelotl
here.
anymore. But it's still
There's
very
leaves
useful,
a little bit.
since
There's
you
stuff going on.
can,
There's also audio
mess
associated
up
to
some
it.
rotations.
So it kind of helps to tell you where he's
stall
at, and it helps counterplay
point
against it, right?
versus two guys.
Just as a reminder, if
and
you're
then
close to him, like if
you
he's
die,
close to
but
people, he
at the
cannot
last moment
respawn. He
a
has to be
mate
at a specific
arrives,
distance.
okay,
So
and
if
then
you want
he's in
to
the
play
role of
against
stalling.
it, you can try to hug him, get close to him, make sure
and
it's
it
a bit
depends
harder
on
for
the
him to
situation.
respawn.
Maybe the
And
gankers
you'll
are
know if he's there. You'll have the
low
audio
in
cue,
health,
you'll
and
have
then you
the
can
visual
respawn
too.
immediately or
So
wait.
it kind of lowers
the
the
situation is
effectiveness
in your favor.
effectiveness of it a little bit. The issue that we had with this, and we've been debating internally for a long time: should we touch it? Should we not touch it? What do we do with this feat? And
think-
looking at the data and a lot of information that we managed to gather, it's not a feat that is overperforming. Actually, it's kind of underperforming. And a lot of the time when you're using it,
Because most
because
people
of
have
the
no
time
idea how to
that
play
you
around
spend
rotations, guys.
in that in Huntsman's period, and it takes longer for your health to get back up.
Most
and
of the
stuff,
times,
it
I see people just trolling
tends
with
to
that feat.
not be super favorable for your team.
Yeah.
However, it has a super high variance point where most of the time it doesn't do that much, but the times that it will do something, it has really, really, really high potential of turning games around
Exactly.
by a single death by an Ocelotl. So that's where the issue is, and we wanted to see
Because you can
how can we correct this a little
make-
bit to lower that like
can
super
work
high
around
ceiling of
rotations.
you know what,
This
like,
is the
he
only
stole a
actually
game
one
because
of
he managed to
the
respawn and
few
go to
feats
where he
that can
wanted to go.
actually
A lot of it is
play
perception. We've
around
seen it at
rotations.
super high
There's
level
also one
matches where
feat
it
that
has
is
happened
similar
that
to
a
it,
single respawn
kinda. It is the
changed the entire
Shaolin
game
tier
because
4.
the other players
So
did not know
underrated.
where he was.
Shaolin tier 4.
He respawned,
Because every time when you die,
and then it turned the game around and it made them win.
your mate arrives on the
We're
point.
trying to
He has to
address
fight a
this.
1v2.
It's a
but
lot more apparent
time-
at like
Time
super
is
high level,
clicking
at
against
like
the
really
gankers
competitive
because
levels.
when you
But still,
die,
it's something
when
we're
you
trying to
respawn
do
as
to
a
make it a
Shaolin
bit
and
more
use your
understandable
T4
and
to
playable.
re-arrive at the point, you
Next up,
should
big,
actually
big,
win
big
and
change
turn
to Pirate.
everything around.
So I'm probably Chad is happy now.
Pirate
But
can no longer
essentially,
cancel
we can
recoveries
no longer
into a
cancel
dodge after
your
Cavalier
recoveries
Dance and Pistol
into a
Bloods.
dodge after Cavalier Dance, so it's the front dodge heavy, and
What?
after any pistol blast. So essentially, we're trying to look at
Oh,
Pirate
shit.
going, you know what, like she's
Hitler
very safe.
Died a
And we
second
want to
time,
give
guys.
decision points in the hero where you go, you know what,
Hitler
like
died a second
do
time.
I use my other attacks other than Cavalier Dance there? But do I use them and
Oh
do
my
I
God.
pistol to get a bit more damage but sacrifice safety?
He was such
Or
a
do I
menace
not use my
because
pistol
of that.
and then get potential safety but sacrificing damage? So because normally your damage output is a little bit lower because it was
Like,
pistol
guys,
blasts,
don't get me wrong.
it
I'm
should
not a
help
pirate hater.
that
I
loop a little
love
bit more.
pirates,
She's
okay?
gonna feel
But
less safe,
it is
and you should have a bit
the
of an easier
toxic
time fighting her.
thing
Whereas right now
to
she could just always use it. It
cancel
never really mattered.
recovery.
She
Always
missed
into a
it.
dodge
A
attack or
dodge attack. She can dodge out of it, and dodge recovery, and be safe from it.
Especially
It's
after
something
the
that like kind of still
or
fits
Cavalier
within
Dance,
her
like, when you
archetype,
try
but
to
we're trying
grab
to
someone
limit it a little bit more
with
so that she is
What's
more
the
affected
point?
by it.
and
Loses
with
a bit
it,
of
you can
safety,
dodge
but
cancel
still
it
is
anyways.
playable and still strong. To note that she went up to S
She was
tier
only
on
vulnerable
competitive
to
lists,
heroes with
not necessarily because
uh,
of this,
the full
but it's a
block
combination of factors. One of them being that
and
when
what
we
else?
changed the parry
Versus
timing for Cavalier
undodgeable
Dance
dodge
and for
attacks.
Walk the Plank, all of a sudden, because a lot of these tier lists are made by complete reaction monsters, we've met some of them, you know who they are, that were able to react, to have like really, really strong reactions against those attacks. Now they cannot react to them at all, which is a good thing. It's great for everybody because if you pick up the game and you go against one of these guys,
I
and you
mean,
do
when you
front
just
dodge
pick up
heavy
the
with
game,
Pirate,
you probably won't play
they can't
against
react.
the.
They know it's coming,
won't
but you don't know
play
if it's going to be
against,
fainted, if it's
these
going to land, or
reactions.
whatever's going to happen.
Okay.
So it equalizes the playing field, and it makes it
You,
easier for
you
you
have
to
to
play
dunk
against super high level players that have those
100 of
reactions.
hours to
So that's
actually have the
one part of why
opportunity to
she's
play
so
with
high.
it.
The other part was her safety. So by addressing the safety part, we still want to keep the fact that it's
It's easy to
unreactable
react
because
once
then at a
by
high
itself.
level,
Yeah.
otherwise it's the hero is not really playable. So addressing the safety of the rest of her kit kind of makes sense. She's
Oh,
less of a
but-
staller. You have to commit to the
JC, you realize the problem with Pirate,
And
but
then,
you defend
finally,
Jiren like
similarly
that.
on Tiandi, who
Can
is
no longer cancel
arguably the
recoveries
best
into a dash
staller in the
attack
game right
after
now.
pump strike and flank kick.
Very, very, very good
Oh!
at keeping on point with
Oh,
a super strong set of
shit.
feats to stall, but also a lot
No
of recovery bonuses.
way.
And so Tiandi is a bit of a death by 1,000 cuts
Tiandi.
type of hero that is
Oh,
very hard to punish. So
no.
that's why like he's the ultimate staller. So we
Okay,
are
this is, like,
removing the
unexpected,
dodge cancel
because
recoveries from both of his
he-
bashes, so from pump
Tiandi
strike and
deals
from dragon kick.
No.
So now when he
real
uses these
damage.
moves, he's a
He has
lot
no
more
big damage
committed.
move.
You have to be more
He nerfed
aware.
his
But you
dragon
can
kick,
also punish them
like from
way more effectively than you
24
could before.
damage down
So
to
this
20.
will help.
That's a lot.
It'll kind of hinder a little bit Tiandi's defensive
And-
matchups, and it'll make him more punishable. So you have to be a bit more careful when you play as Tiandi. You might not. You'll find that
On
it's
the
a bit
team
harder to do those
fights-
things. To note on both Pirate and Tiandi, it's both on hit and on miss. So you can't just go, hey, I'm gonna hit and dodge cancel. You cannot dodge cancel at all off of these moves anymore. So it makes them a lot more commitful. And we didn't want to put it just on miss to have that consistency, but also to be like, you know what, like you're committed to this. We know what we want you to do afterwards. You know what you want to do afterwards. So to lose a little bit of that effectiveness makes a lot of sense.
Gotcha.
So this is it for balancing this time
Oh,
around.
wow, what?
I'll
Really?
just
No
see
further
how-
Jiren
Sure,
nerfs?
how it goes
Oh,
around there, but
come
yeah,
on.
it's great.
I mean, they're pretty meaningful. Those are some very meaningful changes.
Yeah,
though, so-
and I try to explain everything like in
Yeah.
detail. I know sometimes people will go, it's going too long or whatever, but I know there's some people in chat that really appreciate this and watch the VODs and that can watch the VODs afterwards and
Exactly.
look at chat and be happy
Of
or
course.
sad. I don't know,
Yeah.
but it's great.
We'll go with happy. I want
We'll go
to.
with happy. All right,
go
you
with
want me happy? I'll be happy. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, we want JC.
It's not like you sit right behind me anyway, so it's,
No, we like JC. It's
yeah,
good.
yeah.
All right. All right. Well, JC, thank you so much for coming on the show again, explaining all this in amazing detail, and really helping us understand the changes and the implications. So it's always super
At
enlightening
least now.
to hear from you. So thank you
we
very
will
much again.
eat shit today.
Folks, stick around though, because coming up next we have an esports segment, and in between we're going to roll a video of all of the Legacy Battle Pass weapons. So
Electronic sports are the best kind of sports.
they are the best kind of sports, exactly. So we'll see you for those electronic sports right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Okay, guys. Up right. So I will talk about the balance. A lot of things are kind of understandable, but come on. For example, here, anti-gank part. I have to add a lot of things like anti-gank scale, anti-gank part 3, damage scaling adjustments. They make anti-ganking further and further harder. Like this makes actually sense. Of course, like you're in a gang as a warden or a centurion, you land a huge setup by punching someone down, and then all your follow-ups are damage reduced. It's kind of ridiculous, or same with War Splat. But guys, a lot of people, even competitive players, they are not happy with the current revenge tech systems, and I already made a list of it. Okay, for example, like revenge tech system right now is shit. Okay, we need the revenge tags last 5 seconds. This is not enough. It should be at least 8 seconds. You know why? Because revenge, a regular revenge lasts 8 seconds. And every time when people kinda commit into the gank, like babysit, like they 1v2, the guy messed up, the guy intervenes with a peel, and then they wait 5 seconds. Okay? In this case, like by increasing the revenge tag time, right? The enemy team has to do the decision. Should we keep babysitting or commit further into the gank? Alright? Like, if we commit, we might feed revenge, yes. Okay? But with 8 seconds, the risk of reinforcements to arrive increases. Right now, 5 seconds doesn't feel fair. Like, not really rewarding. Like, every time when you stall, blah blah blah. Get the point. Like, babysitting is one of the worst thing you can encounter in For Honor right now. This is why playing a staller like Tiandi, pirate in the past now, you cannot really do shit. Or Orochi is so important. Like you can basically avoid gank setups because of your dodge recoveries. Or this is also one of the reasons why Jiren is so strong. Like he can do basically everything. He can deal big damage in anti-ganks. He can stall a lot. Has the feats to stall or to anti-gank. You get the point. Like current state of revenge is pretty shit. I can understand why they did that change because it does make sense. So next change, Jiren. People like Ubisoft still don't understand why he is one of the most hated. Like guys, I play this game since release, and I can confirm Jiren is by far the most hated hero from the community for a good reason. Like I witnessed Virtuoso release, I witnessed Hatun release, I witnessed Pirate release, I witnessed every kind of release, but Jiren gets shit on from all people, from all skill levels, from low to high, whatever, because they gave him basically everything. Like I think, in my personal opinion, a heavy unblockable finisher should be a signature move for a hero. For example, JJ, Sanhu. It's a signature move, okay? Like, but Jiren has basically everything. He has insane chain pressure. From a light attack, from a zone, whatever. He can perform a chain bash, right? He can perform a chain bash. That's also a huge pressure tool. He can perform an unblockable. He can do dodge recoveries. He has a white hitbox. He has incredible feats. He has high damage. And for some reason, they gave him more health than the average hero. So, like he is overwhelming in every situation. In 1v1, in anti-gank, in team fights. He has no weakness. So for example, you take other Outlander heroes. Yes, for example Hatun. Hatun is really strong in 1v1, okay. But in team fights she might struggle because her external pressure is not that high. But you get the point. Jiren is overwhelming and this is by far not enough. Because like I said before the stream, Kensei, Medjay are the perfect examples a hero can work without unblockables. Because I'm totally fine with his hitbox, but some hits, like the heavy finisher, shouldn't be unblockable. Maybe only the top one, the top heavy finisher, should be unblockable. Have a different kind of approach to open up someone. Like, and instead of just doing bashes in teamfights or whatsoever. But I think the side heavy finishers should be just a tool for suppression, okay, but not for oppression. I mean, but with the side unblockable, it's so easy to land damage. It's so easy to land whatever. So this is why, and I personally think you also have too many option selects. That means you see pressure coming to you like an unblockable. You can perform regular interrupt. You can perform a light undodgeable to avoid guard break vulnerability. If you really want the juicy punish, you can go for the heavy dodge unblockable, and you don't even have to commit and blah blah blah. Thing is, you have to land hard reads, like giga hard reads on Jiren, alright? To actually land damage. And even when you land the damage, even when you have the correct read on Jiren, especially on the unblockable one, what is your reward, guys? What is your freaking reward? A light attack, because the heavy dodge attack, like the unblockable dodge attack, counts as a heavy attack, not a light one. There's so many points. I can do a whole video why Jiren deserves the nerfs, but this is just some starter points. Like, I will probably upload this on YouTube. So, Ocelotl, blah. So, visible during Huntsman Spirit. I think being visible during Huntsman Spirit is okay. it's fine. I already mentioned it. For a level 1 to mess up or to be able to play around rotations is, in my opinion, pretty interesting. I already gave you an example with Shaolin tier 4. Shaolin tier 4, super powerful when you know exactly what to do with that field. When you know how to play objectives, when you play how to play rotations. Okay? And this is a weaker form because you can stay on a point, you slowly regenerate, and you can watch the situation and then intervene at the right time. For example, like I mentioned before, fighting a 1v2, you deal a lot of damage to the gankers, then you die, but in the last moment your teammate arrives on the point and then wants to rotate with you, and the chances for him to win the anti-gank is also very low. But when you see the situation turns around, then you can intervene and then wipe the whole gank squad. So and then the point belongs to you. Enemy has to do the same. Has a big problem then. So I like actually feats that allows you to play around rotations. Pirate, well deserved. So like I always gave Pirate a triple S tier. Like triple S tier is for me a tier, like a hero that is far beyond everyone else. For example, Jiren is far beyond everyone else. Like I don't even feel like losing when I play Jiren. This is why Pirate and Jiren was so high on my tier list every freaking time. But now you can no longer cancel recoveries into dodge attack. Is kind of deserved, I would say. Absolutely deserved, because he's so safe, he's so oppressive, he has so many options to choose in the team, in the fight. It's actually incredible. And his on top of that, he still has one of the, in my opinion, one of the best damage abilities and feats combination in the game. Right. So what else can I add? Yeah, Tiandi the same. So I personally struggle with the Tiandi choice. Yes, Tiandi very popular in 1v1 situations. But in Dominion, to be honest, I don't see many Tiandis in matchmaking. Or no effective, like super effective, super annoying Tiandis matchmaking. I'm not sure about that one. Like Tiandi right now, he basically slaps you with a wet towel. I don't know. Like it takes so many correct reads to actually down someone, and he basically can just like the dragon kick, just 20 damage, land it, of course. And then on top of that, with the dragon kick now, you cannot cancel the recovery. So you're more vulnerable to dodge attack now, like in the past. You commit to the dragon kick, alright, and then you see a dodge attack coming at you, and then you can actually dodge into that direction and use the undodgeable to crushing counter it. But yeah, I mean, it was of course some heroes very annoying to play against Tiandi, but Tiandi, in my opinion, in Dominions at least, not super oppressive or super strong. We actually nerf him. So what else? That's actually it, right? Yeah, I don't know, guys. What do you think? What do you think about these nerfs? So I think Jiren needs way more attention. Say it in a careful way. But yeah, let me know, guys, in the comments or here in the chat. What do you think about these changes? I personally think it's kind of underwhelming, especially with Jiren. Like Jiren is like, oh, so annoying to play against. His risk reward is just way too high, guys. Pirate change was tough. I mean, guys, I say it how it is. Pirate is performing way too good. Like I said, I don't even feel like losing as Pirate player. especially in big team fights or in fair situations. But he's way too safe, guys. Way too safe to play against, play with. But yeah, let me know, guys, what you think. I will definitely grind tomorrow Ocelotl. I think I give Ocelotl now a try, and then Pirate. Who knows? Okay. So guys, I'm also offline. See you tomorrow in the next video. Bye bye.
Halfway there, brothers. Keep it up.